best little whorehouse in Texas. The wonderful time I'd had on 9 to 5 had whetted my appetite for another movie. Whorehouse was a completely opposite experience. It was as if 9 to 5 had been my first lover, sweetly seductive before and gentle and caring during our lovemaking. Whorehouse, then, was a rapist. I was still relatively green in the movie business and didn't know that by the time I got involved, there was already a lot of what they call blood on the project. The people who created the original Broadway show had been weeded out of the mix by the movie studio, and other principals had been fired. Burt Reynolds had become involved, and since he was in the middle of a devastating breakup with Sally Field, he was not in a particularly good mood. On top of that, people were being fired right and left. In fact, at one point there was a bumper sticker circulating around Hollywood that read, "Honk if you've been fired from Little House." Burt was in pretty bad shape, emotionally and physically. Sometimes he would just walk off the set, unable to deal with things, and I would be called upon to go to his dressing room and try to cheer him up. That was a little like the blind leading the blind, since I was in an emotional and physical turmoil of my own. We'd come to love each other dearly, but neither one of us was able to give each other real support. He'd usually begin blubbering about his woes, and I'd just join in. We'd sit and bitch and moan and sling snot until we felt so sorry for each other that our troubles didn't seem so bad. Then we'd go back to the set, have our red eyes retouched, and try to get through another scene or two before the whole cycle would start all over again. Burt and I got along about as well as two people in our situations could have. There were the inevitable rumors that Burt and I were romantically involved. And one day, in an interview, somebody asked me if it was true. "Shoot, no," I said. "Burt and I are too much alike to be involved. We both wear wigs and high heels, and we both have a roll around the middle." Well, Burt got wind of this quote and proceeded to give me a few of his own.
You're destroying the magic. I mean, how are people going to think of us as an item for the sake of this movie if we go around bad-mouthing each other?
I hadn't thought of it as bad-mouthing. I was just trying to make a joke. That's it.
Okay. Okay, this is Burt on Burt and Dolly.
Yes. This is a segue.
Very smooth.
Hardly noticed it.
Dolly and I had always had a flirtatious relationship. Fun, lighthearted kidding. And I was truly smitten to her, by her. But then I'm sure lots of men feel that way about Dolly. She is truly one of a kind. Yet, nothing had ever happened. But up in her suite, Dolly gave a funny look in her eye. "All right?"
All right. Let's just get this humping business over with.
I paused for a minute, repeated the words back to myself just to make sure I understood what she'd said, and I'd asked, "What?"
Let's just hump and get it over with. Because when the movie starts, we've got to work.
Well, whether we did or didn't, I'm not going to say. But once the picture started, there was no fooling around. No. In fact, one day after shooting, returning to Hollywood from location, I noticed this guy leaning up against a post. Incredibly handsome. He wore a sheepskin jacket and a cowboy hat, and watched everything. Well, I figured he was an actor making a western somewhere on the lot, because ours was a closed set and nobody ever came by. "Check out that good-looking guy over there," I said to Dolly. "Who do you think he is?"
That's Carl, my husband.
"No shit," I said. "Nobody's ever seen him. Why don't we take a picture together?"
He's pretty, all right. But you do that, darling, and I'll kill you.